You're listening to Ka-Pow, the pop culture podcast. Comics, television, movies, and more. If it impacts fan culture, we have something to say about it. And now, your hosts, Jordan, Cliff, and Seth.
School is out for summer, but it's not out forever. My name is Jordan Lowe.
Cliff Barnes. That was loud.
It's all sideways?
Look at the video we posted. Now it's showing it sideways. Sorry,
Nice.
everyone.
Jesse Starcher.
What an intro, everyone. What an intro.
Sorry, that was
We have guests. We need to be professional.
Put your phone away.
Sorry. Shocking. All right, talk, people.
Welcome back to our annual tradition. This has just become a tradition where we have the OJ, Mr. Jesse Starcher, from the Source Material Podcast, live in the bunker. Welcome.
Thank you. I can tell you that the intro sounds way different than when I listen to my podcast.
A lot more upbeat for you.
A lot slower.
Well, yeah, we don't play it 2 times the speed.
This is weird being on 1 time speed.
Yeah.
I guess we
You
can
can
try to
really
speak a little
relish
faster.
it. Just let it envelop you.
Yes.
Not skipping along the top of the podcast like maybe getting your toes wet.
I want to thank you guys for coming, having me here, and coming here. Like you guys, don't come here often. Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here. So
Sure.
and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're heading back 25 years into the past, into comic book past. I'm a big nostalgic kind of dude. I kind of like to, not only do I like to read comics from the 90s, I kind of like to listen to music from the 90s, enjoy some TV, a little Seinfeld or something every once in a while from the 90s. So that's what we're doing here. We're going back 25 years and doing the CBIQ for you guys. You guys remember Wizard. This is coming straight out of Wizard number 31 from March of 1994. And hey, I love the Wizard back when I was reading.
This is my question: is how far did you have to dig to find that magazine? Is that like nightstand? You always have it with you, or did you have to get into some boxes?
No. I think I stopped collecting Wizard probably 10 or 15 issues after that. But I have them sitting right there, ready for you guys. I was like, okay, I gotta go 25 years. Here's 1994. We'll just grab one of those. So. I don't know how you guys want to do this. If you guys want to jump into the test, or I could get us kind of primed and ready and take us back to 1994.
Let's take a look back. What was going on in the world?
So
We're in 94?
yeah, take a look around. We have not only were there some pretty big events happening in comics at that time. There were some big events that were happening in TV and movies. You guys do something similar to that every day, talking about current events. So we're going to talk about some stuff that happened 25 years ago in TV and in movies.
We're usually not that current. We're usually a couple weeks behind.
But I just hopped on the wiki before I came here. I jotted down some highlights. So let's start with TV here. TV in 1994, and we'll go chronologically here. So January 24th, 1994 in TV, during a segment on NBC's Today, host Brian Gumbel asked, "What is the internet anyway?" Here we are 25 years later. I think we've answered that question. February 19th, this is rather long, so I'm not really going to go through all of it, but apparently Martin Lawrence makes a really bad joke on SNL. And so here's how it goes.
Oh, good. Right. Make it on our show. Let's go viral.
It goes, guest host Martin Lawrence makes sexually explicit jokes about female genitalia and female hygiene, which results in NBC banning him from appearing on the network for the next year and SNL for life. In repeats of the episode, the offending section of the monologue is replaced by a title card read by an off-screen player saying that although SNL is neutral about the issues mentioned by Lawrence, network policy prevents his remarks from being rebroadcast, and that the incident almost cost the entire cast of SNL their jobs. 94 SNL. We're talking... That's Chris Farley, right?
Farley, Sandler.
Yeah. Spade.
Yeah,
Mike Myers. Yeah, all those guys.
All right, April 28th, The Simpsons broadcast their 100th episode on Fox.
Just a little
They
babies.
already jumped the shark.
Babies back then.
May 23rd, a series near and dear to my heart, Star Trek The Next Generation concludes its 7-year run with the series finale, All Good Things. The 2-hour finale was broadcast at 6 p.m. on most affiliates rather than as part of the prime time lineup. June 17th, 1994. Where were you? When O.J. Simpson hopped into the White Bronco, took over the TV airwaves. Apparently there was a finals match between New York and Houston that was going on, and they were split screening that along with that. So,
wow, that's weird. I was just watching that Deezus and Mero show, and they were talking because OJ had joined Twitter, and they were like, I'm still mad at him for interrupting that Knicks game.
All right, and on a comic TV related note, September 24th, the Marvel Action Hour featuring animated adaptations of Iron Man and the Fantastic Four debut in syndication. Any comments before we move to music?
That's quite a jump from a Saturday morning cartoon to a $1 billion movie franchise.
Wow.
So
Yeah, no kidding.
25 short years.
So, yeah, I know you guys don't do music very often on here, so I wrote down some stuff that'll probably jog. You know, it's the nostalgic poke in the old...
Cliff just made a song last episode.
Yeah, we do music all the time.
That's true. So February 1st, Green Day released their first breakthrough album, Dookie. I don't know if anybody enjoys some Green Day. I don't want to bring it down too much, but we had some events.
More explicit content.
Between the months of March and April, some really sad events happened with Kurt Cobain to where he is found dead, and his death is ruled a suicide. Can I ask, where were you guys when you found out about that? We'll start with Jordan here. Do you remember?
I don't remember when I heard about it, but I remember the next morning there was a kid in my homeroom class who was a troublemaker, was always getting sent to the principal's office, and he
ne'er-do-well.
Right, but he was the biggest Nirvana Kurt Cobain fan. Like, he was one of those kids who kind of worshiped Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
And, like, that next one, he was just laying on his desk, just his head down, just like... I was like, I don't know if this guy's going to make it. I was seriously concerned about the guy because I liked it, and I was like, yeah, it was sad, but it didn't have. It? No, I mean, I liked the band Nirvana. Replace that with a title card, please.
We cannot back up Jordan's comments about the death of Kurt Cobain.
All right, Seth.
I don't remember. I mean, I remember it happening, but I don't remember where I was or anything.
Cliff, same thing?
I would have been the same place you were, I'm sure. Warren Elementary School. I have no memory of it at all.
Elementary school.
No, I think we were, well, what are you, like a couple years younger than me? Or a year?
What year did you graduate?
I graduated in 96.
I'm a year younger than you, yeah.
So... 94. Here's the thing. At Warren High School, they had those TVs that would show like some kind of weird news thing.
Channel 1 news?
So, I think it was that.
Where Anderson Cooper got his start.
That's right. And Lisa Ling.
Yeah.
I remember seeing
and Serena Outro. I can top you. Come on, bring it.
You just got.
Yeah, I remember seeing it on those TVs. So it might have been my freshman year.
So you were probably in high school then. Yep. I would have been in 8th grade.
Yep. So
the only thing like that I remember is when the Challenger blew up. We were like sitting there. Dude. We were sitting there watching it, like, ooh, cool. Boom.
Harmer Elementary.
What happened?
Yep. I was at Harmer Elementary. I think I was in 2nd or 3rd grade. And,
2nd grade because I was in 1st. I remember that. I remember that.
I will say I would have done a lot better on trivia circa the Challenger than I did the circa the 90s.
All right, so May 6th, my birthday, Pearl Jam files a complaint against Ticketmaster, them dirty dogs. And also on May 6th, to help promote his new album, tying this in with comic news, Alice Cooper releases a 3-part comic book that followed the album The Last Temptation. Lisa Left Eye Lopez, speaking of the Cleveland Browns.
Is this when she burnt down the...
In a domestic dispute with partner Andre Bad Moon Rising.
I do remember that.
Sets fire to his shoes. The fire ultimately spreads to the mansion.
Those are some big shoes.
June 27th, Aerosmith becomes the first major band to premiere a new song on the internet. Over 10,000 CompuServe.
The internet, Brian Goebel said.
CompuServe subscribers download the free track head first. And August 11th, a compact disc copy of Sting's album 10 Summoner's Tales, released the previous year, becomes the first item securely purchased over the internet.
Wow.
The CD is sold for $12.
That's some trivia.
Yeah.
That'll come up sometime.
$12.48 plus shipping and handling. And then we have Woodstock 94 happens in August. And then in
Mudstock?
November 30th, I have no idea who the Breeders are, but I wrote this down here because I found it interesting locally, as the Breeders guitarist Kelly Deal is arrested at her Ohio home after accepting a private courier package containing 4 grams of heroin. All right, movies. Okay.
Oh, bring it.
All right, here we go. Well, all I have is the top 10. Top 10 movies of 1994, going
Pulp
from
Fiction.
10 to 1. 10 to 1.
Forrest Gump.
Well, yeah, we could do a little trivia right now.
what do you got there?
Here we go. First one to answer gets it, okay? Harrison Ford is the president.
Get off my plane.
Yeah,
Air Force
almost. What was the first one?
What was the first?
There was Patriot Games, so that was the first one, right?
Oh, that's Jack Ryan.
Oh, it is Jack Ryan. Oh, my goodness.
He's president in Air Force One.
That's right. That's where I'm getting mixed up. This is clear and present danger.
Okay,
My bad. Tom Cruise.
Are we grading?
Don't grade me. Do not grade me. Tom Cruise has a bloodlust. What's the name of the movie?
In Race.
Vampires.
Yeah. Boy, we suck.
Podcast with a vampire.
Interview with the
Yeah,
Vampire. I have no idea because I've never seen this movie. Number 8, 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
Yeah.
Just watched this
Hugh
movie.
Grant.
Just watched this movie with my son, and I thought he would love it, which he did. Starring Jeff Daniels and Jim Carrey.
Dumb and Dumber.
Very good. At number 6, I believe this was, oh my goodness, John Goodman, and I cannot remember who else.
Arachnophobia.
No.
That was what I was thinking.
That was a great one.
I was
though.
like, I don't care who else he names. I'm saying Arachnophobia.
Number 6, we take a trip back to Bedrock.
Oh, Flintstones.
That's right, the Flintstones. Keanu Reeves has been in the news a lot lately.
Speed.
That's correct. And then going back to Jim Carrey, he actually adapted his portrayal of a comic book character.
The Mask.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that was one of the few movies I've ever walked out of.
Really, that bad?
That bad.
I didn't dislike it the first time I
goodness.
saw it.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, True Lies.
Very good,
Great
very
movie.
good. Number 2, Tom Hanks.
Yeah, Forrest Gump.
Very good. And Cliff, you might get this one. I don't know. Elton John, I believe, was on the soundtrack. 1994 Disney
Lion
movie.
King.
Very
Yeah.
good. It was Elton John, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. And Jack Ryan was the president. Okay, 1994 in comics.
I'd never forget.
1994 in comics. You
Oh,
know,
boy.
I figure we would just run down through these real quick, and then we'll start our test over
Okay.
our scores here. All right, in comics, January of 1994, there's a new Green Lantern on
Ooh.
Earth. His name is Kyle Rayner.
Yep.
All right, this is just after we covered Emerald Twilight wasn't too long ago, and very interesting storyline. Kyle Rayner takes over for Hal Jordan. In February, She-Hulk Volume 2 is canceled with issue 60. The caption on the cover reads, "Okay, kids, we had a deal. Now hand over those X-Men comics." March, X-Men Volume 2, number 30. Scott Summers marries Jean Grey. That's right. In May, The Incredible Hulk issue 417. Now, I threw this on here because it ties in with the next one. Incredible Hulk issue 417 features Rick Jones's infamous stag party,
Oh, my.
in which the Marvel heroes discover that Jones's fiancée was an adult film star. And then in 418 in June, and the fun don't stop there. When Rick and Marlo get wed, with an appearance by DC Comics' character. This says DC Comics' character Death. So, DC?
Well, yeah, Vertigo. If they went like Sandman Death.
But it's Incredible Hulk?
I'm just saying, if they say it's
okay.
it
was written...
I don't remember this happening. I'm just saying.
Okay. Written by Peter David and art by Gary Frank and Cam Smith. Any ties to DC's Death that you can think of on top of
I
that?
may have
no
just
idea.
drawn her in a crowd scene or something.
Okay.
That's
maybe.
possible.
All
yeah.
right.
A little Easter egg.
July of 1994. One of the more dark?
One of the darker.
Darkalist.
Yeah.
It's the darkest part of the
That's
Spider-Man.
you just named the podcast.
Spider-
The darkest year, 1994.
the Spider-Man clone saga begins.
Oh boy.
All right, and in August, hey, back to the Incredible Hulk 420. Less Darkness Come.
420, man.
By Peter David, Gary Frank, Cam Smith, Jim Wilson. Now, this was a hot topic. It seems like when I was pulling up 1994,
Cliff knows that. Hot topic.
Jim Wilson dies of AIDS. So that was probably a big deal in comic books at that time. September, Justice League International Volume 2 is canceled by DC with issue 67.
Sons of bitches.
Marvel Comics in November abolishes the position of editor-in-chief, replacing Tom DeFalco with 5 group editors. This is insane. Rather than name a successor, the company appoints 5 editors-in-chief. Okay, each of whom oversees a certain number of titles. X-Men titles, Bob Harris. Spider-Man titles, Bob Budiansky. So-called Marvel Universe titles, Mark Gruenwald. The newly created Marvel Edge, Bobby Chase. And licensed property titles, Carl Potts. All right, December, X-Men 41. The Apocalypse begins. Age of Apocalypse gets its beginnings where Legion kills Professor X in X-Men number 41. And in G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. Okay?
Wait, about what issue would have been?
Oh,
this?
that's about the end of it.
There you go. In
155.
December of 94, issue 155 was the cancellation. And also, I've been hearing a little bit about this on other podcasts about the history of distribution. And I think you may have even talked about Diamond, maybe. I don't know. You might be afraid of the mob coming after you or something. I don't know. But anyway, Marvel Comics purchases distributor Heroes World Distribution in 1994. So does that ring a bell at all?
Yeah, and their bungling of it led directly to Diamond having a monopoly. So Marvel was killing it that year.
All right, there you go, guys. That was a trip back. I hope everybody's primed and ready for 1994 now. So we get to talk some comics. And
I miss Jack Ryan, let me tell you. Better days.
All right, so we have already answered these questions. There's 25 questions from the year 1994. So the answer might be different in modern day, but we had to put our brains back in that era to what it was true then.
Yeah, we could use this primer before we took the
Right.
All right, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
So, our participants here, Seth, Cliff, Jordan, have taken the test already, passed their test to the person to their left, and we're going to go down through. I'll read the question, and then I'll give the answer.
Are we going to look at the fanboy-o-meter?
Yeah, let's talk about that, because I can't read it.
Yeah,
I have to go to the actual magazine.
I speak a little Spanish, so don't worry.
All right, so
It's in Spanish?
yes, it is. Also included is this fanboy-o-meter, which you can use to gauge how macho you are.
In less diverse,
Macho.
in less diverse times,
Yes.
it was all about being reading comic books was to show how macho you were. I mean, that's just what it was like in the 90s.
That's why we still do it.
It's a guy thing.
Today it would say, how woke are you?
All
All right, so a score of 0 to 5
Here.
gives you "Tu no eres muy macho," which translates to "you're not very macho." 6 through 12, "Tu eres macho como Hervé Villachez." So you're about as macho as Hervé Villachez.
The plane.
Parentheses, "Quien es muy muerto?" He's already dead.
Oh.
13 through 19, "Tu eres macho como Ricardo Montalban."
Oh.
Yeah, nice.
10 through 24, "Tu eres macho como Wesley Snipes,"
Oh, always bet on black.
the most macho man of 1994. And all 25 correct Caramba. Tu eres muy macho.
All right.
Ay, caramba.
Somebody, I'm curious if somebody's going to pull out a 25 here. I have my doubts.
25.
chance.
You're crazy.
I have my doubts.
No, this is the worst test I've seen so far.
Yeah, we are smack dab in 94. I mean, can you think of some of the top titles and stuff that was going on there, Jordan, in 94? I mean, some of the top books.
Yeah, 94. We were right. The X-Men craze was well underway. The Image books were still. I mean, they maybe weren't the heights of those first years, but Image was still hot. Was that Death of Superman? We just had.
Yeah.
Was that right around that era?
Valiant was coming into its own there.
Right.
They'd been around for a little bit. I think the Ultraverse was getting started. I think maybe, but anyway, a lot of different companies to actually take into account on this. Now, granted, most of it is Marvel and DC heavy, but you got your little Image in there, you got your little Valiant in there. So we'll see how.
You were asking, wonder if anybody got 25. You're thinking there's only 25 questions. Like you think somebody could
could have got them perfect. You never know. Cliff may surprise us.
We might have a good Cliff Hunting situation.
What's funny is I handed you guys the papers without looking at. To make sure that I had the master in my hand. So I was really worried that I actually gave one of you guys the master.
Well, just looking at Seth's answers, we answered a lot of stuff differently. So,
ooh, oh boy, all right.
That's great.
We're gonna have a little bit more separation this time, I think.
Okay.
Cliff and I have a lot of the same things. I'm a little worried.
All right. Well, let me get to the page here, 92. That's where we're going, and we'll start going down through the questions. All right, CBIQ coming up. Here it goes. Number 1, who was the second villain the original team of X-Men faced? So our choices were the Blob, Unis the Untouchable.
Easy there. Bane.
The Vanisher, and Mesmero. So let's go ahead. I guess we'll go around and just see here. Jordan, what did Seth have there for?
Well, obviously, the first issue, a very famous cover, they fought Magneto.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 was wide open. It could have been any of those kind of Silver Age villains. So Seth picked the Blob.
Okay.
So did Cliff.
Jordan chose Unis the Untouchable.
The correct answer, according to this wizard, is C, the Vanisher. So, wow, nobody too ass mighty many or whatever it was. Very, very macho.
Better Bay Village.
I just remembered Unis the Untouchable being like way early in the run for a completely forgettable villain. So I took a stab. Maybe he was number 2.
Okay. Number 2, which of the following characters is not HIV positive? We have A, North Star, B, Bloodfire, C, Chapel, and D, Shadowhawk. So I'm currently in the process of listening to another podcast by the name of All the Pouches, and they are covering the very early run of Shadowhawk. So I kind of knew that answer just because my recent podcast listening. But anyway, Cliff, what's Jordan have there?
Jordan has North Star.
Okay.
Cliff's got Shadowhawk.
Okay.
Seth put Chapel.
Well, the correct answer is North Star.
Ooh.
North Star was more famously known for coming out as homosexual in the comics,
right?
But was not HIV.
So, yeah,
positive.
we're right in that like gritty, real world comics. We're just starting to have real world issues.
Yeah.
So I knew Shadowhawk was. I wasn't sure about the other 2, but I thought North Star, his claim to fame was being one of the first out characters. I'm like, I don't think they'd also give him HIV. So that was called an educated
and I
guess.
thought for sure they would. I was like, that sounds about the right time to just do both. Just think, everyone must have AIDS.
Yep. All right, number 3. Who did Batman face in the premiere of Batman the Animated Series, which I unfortunately have not watched a lot of. So our options are A, the Joker, B, Man-Bat, C, the Penguin, and D, Clayface. Seth, what's...
Cliff has Man-Bat.
All right.
Seth also has Man-Bat.
And Jordan has the Penguin.
The corrector The correct answer is B, Man-Bat.
All right.
Now,
we got one.
Cliff,
Yeah.
so you like this series, I assume? I mean,
Yeah, I remember watching it back in the day, and I wasn't sure that was the answer, but something in the back of my head told me it was. It was either the first or last episode was Man-Bat.
I could have swore it was Two-Face, but he's not one of the question or answers. So I knew it wasn't Joker. They didn't start with Joker.
No.
All right. Now this is the one that had me going, okay. So number 4. The new Superboy is A, a clone of Superman, B, just a clone, C, an alien, or D, a cross-dresser.
Wow.
All right.
I am offended.
1994. So, all right, Jordan.
So by new Superboy, I said this was like Death, Superman, Arrow. This was the 4 characters coming back.
Right.
This was Superboy with the sunglasses and the leather jacket.
Okay.
Is this the era we're in, Cliff? Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah,
I
okay.
don't know.
That's what
You're assuming I
was
read a comic book in 1994, which I can tell you I did not.
Well, Cliff put a clone of Superman.
Okay. All right.
Seth put just a clone.
Okay.
And Jordan has C, an alien.
We are all over the map here.
Wow. Wow.
I knew the character, but I couldn't tell you the origin story.
Well, I need an explanation because the correct answer is just a clone.
I don't have an explanation. I just knew he was a clone, but I just guessed
So
one.
Yeah.
he's a clone, but not of Superman?
Not of Superman, which again, I double checked this answer and I was like, they've got to surely be incorrect here, but no,
Did you look it up?
I didn't.
I, for one, trust the high editorial standards of Wizard Magazine.
All right, let's move on then. Number 5. When the She-Hulk first joined the Avengers, she began to form a romantic link with which fellow team member?
Avengers 221.
Well then, the answers are A, Moon Knight, B, Hawkeye, C, Iron Man, but it's Tony Stark. She didn't know he was Iron Man. And D, Hercules. So, Seth, go ahead and explain.
Well, Avengers 221 is the issue that has all the faces in a row. They were doing a big roster change. We're making room for there's even like a panel that's blank. It's Invisible Girl.
Yep.
But they had to run. Everybody came in and they were recruiting a new member. And while they're having their little tea party or whatever, Hawkeye and She-Hulk are getting in a fight outside with some guy that showed up at the door in like an iron suit, as I recall. And they kind of just flirt the whole way through. She keeps flirting with him and they get both of them join the Avengers. And at the time I just started reading the Avengers, didn't know that Hawkeye had been in the Avengers like way back. And, that I was just like, hey, this is cool, you know.
Yep. Yeah, the correct answer is Hawkeye. So anybody?
See, that's where I was leaning because he was flirty and was always in relationships, but I thought he might have been married by then. So this was
It's right after that.
It was
not long after that.
Mockingbird.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, number 6. The first supervillain Spider-Man ever faced was A, the Vulture, B, Dr. Octopus, C, the Chameleon, or D, the Sandman. So where'd we leave off?
Cliff picked the Sandman,
Seth picked the Sandman.
And Jordan has the Chameleon.
which sticks out like a sore thumb.
Right answer, right?
I believe you.
Yeah, the correct answer is the Chameleon. All right. So, moving on to 7, in current 1994 DC continuity, if you can call it that. Oh boy, they even know. They were woke back then. How many forms of kryptonite are there? A1, B2, C3, D, there is no kryptonite in current DC continuity. Jordan, what do we have there as answers?
Seth guessed 1.
Okay.
Cliff guessed 3.
And Jordan also has 1.
Correct answer is 1 form of kryptonite in 1994 DC continuity.
Yeah, that was just taking a guess, like post-crisis, they'd kind of simplified things, all that Silver Age blue kryptonite, red kryptonite, so I was kind of assuming they'd simplified it down.
Okay. All right. 8. Which of the following creations did Reed Richards not invent? A, the collapsible, reusable Christmas tree. B, robotic receptionist. C, unstable molecule. And D, the ultimate nullifier. So, Cliff, what does Jordan have?
Jordan has D, Ultimate Nullifier.
All right.
Yeah, Cliff has a Christmas tree.
All right.
Ultimate Nullifier.
I like Christmas. But I don't think Reed Richards.
He's not that smart. The correct answer is D, the Ultimate Nullifier. So this was something that, was it the Watcher had, or how did he get a hold of that? I can't remember.
Yeah, they had to go, I think, to the Watcher's place on the moon. That was the weapon that stopped Galactus.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Number 9.
I can't quote you when he invented the Christmas tree. I'll have to look that up.
This is a one-panel shot.
Number 9, Billy Kincaid, the child murderer from the pages of Spawn, disguised himself as A, a comic book magazine publisher, B, a clown, C, an ice cream man, or D, Santa Claus. So, Seth?
Cliff said the clown.
All right.
Seth says Ice Cream Man.
Jordan has Ice Cream Man.
Correct answer is Ice Cream Man.
Because the clown was...
was it?
Huh?
The clown was somebody else, right? The
Violator.
Yeah,
that's what I almost want to say. I was like, I don't want to screw this up. But hey, someone who just, I could just see Cliff going, okay, here's how much I know about Spawn. There's a clown.
That's exactly right.
Perfect. All right, number 10. We'll do a quick tally here after this one. Which of the following characters is not synthetic? All right. A, Spartan.
What does that mean?
Which one's not synthetic?
Which one's not a robot?
Ruben.
Why didn't it say that?
Well, because there's the fanboys like, well, Jacasa's not technically a robot. He's a synthetic organism.
Right.
That's some Marvel mumbo jumbo.
All right, so A, Spartan. B, the original Human Torch. C, shout out to my boy Chris Armstrong, Darkhawk. And D, Jocasta. All right, so...
I can't believe I got this wrong. It was so stupid. Now I'm looking at it. I was like,
Seth
I know
says-
which one it is.
Seth says Spartan, which was the leader
Yeah.
of Wildcats, who is part robot.
He is a
Yeah.
robot. All right, Cliff.
Jordan has C, Darkhawk.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Cliff has original Human Torch, which is
Okay.
synthetic.
Jim Hammond was the original Human Torch. Is
Yeah,
that right?
yeah.
Okay.
Both.
The correct answer is C, Darkhawk. He is a human. All right, quick tally, guys. Give us a quick tally on
Cliff's
everybody.
got one.
One right, Cliff. I'm
That's
very
better
proud
than I
of you.
thought.
But I like his second page a lot better. I'll tell you that.
Let's see. Jordan has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
Oh. Seth has the same. So we're both as macho as Hervé Village is.
Wow. All right. All right, here we go. Number 11.
Boss.
When Wolverine battled Wendigo the second time around who actually ended up defeating the cannibalistic creature? A, Snowbird, B, Guardian, C, Storm, or D, Alpha Flight? So,
Cliff says Storm.
okay.
Seth said Guardian.
And Jordan said Snowbird.
Oh, boy.
So everyone but Storm is in Alpha Flight, so I didn't know if it was a solo effort or a team effort. This was a total guess.
Correct answer is A, Snowbird.
Oh.
I believe she's female character, right?
Yeah, and she has some kind of attachment to animals and things, so I thought maybe she soothed the savage beast or something.
Ah, okay.
I believe the correct answer was Storm, the only character I knew.
All right. Number 12. The hunchbacked weapons designer who used to help Batman design... Let's try it again. Hunchbacked weapons designer who used to help Batman design useful gadgets was named... This is a deep cut. For me, anyway. Was named A, Igor, or what have you. B, Harold. C, Jerome, or D, Modo.
Cliff went straight Disney with Igor.
Hunchback.
What name do I recognize?
Yep.
Seth says Harold.
And Jordan has B, Harold.
Correct answer is Harold. And he was around for a little bit. I can remember reading something with him.
Yeah, I feel like they needed to explain where he gets these wonderful toys. So he had this genius inventor guy living in the cave. He could have given him a bedroom in the mansion, but he makes him live in the cave.
Number 13, Reed Fleming, the world's toughest milkman, never misses an episode of A. Who in the world is this? Okay, all right. I have no idea who Reed Fleming is. Reed Fleming, the world's toughest milkman, never misses an episode of A. Montel Williams, B. Blossom, C. Horrors of Ivan, and D. Dangers of Ivan.
Cliff went Blossom.
Okay.
It could have been any of these.
I
don't even know what this is.
Nope.
I think it's like a Dark Horse character or some very indie character. I was assuming they wouldn't use a real show, so I took a wild stab and said Horrors of Ivan.
Okay.
Jordan said yes, Horrors of Ivan.
Yeah, that's Seth also said.
Okay. All right. So the correct answer is C.
Oh.
Horrors.
I figured it was a 50-50 choice since they had two things of Ivan.
Yeah, I no clue. All right. Number 14. Who killed Mockingbird? Was it A. Mephisto, B. Satanus, C. Master Pandemonium, or D. Boo Radley?
I like that. That was
Literary.
From To Kill a Mockingbird.
Gotcha. All right. Who wants to go first?
Cliff had Mephisto.
Okay.
Seth also had Mephisto.
And Jordan has Master Pandemonium.
Correct answer, according to Wizard, is A. Mephisto. Don't know that storyline, so afraid I'm in the dark.
If we asked that question today, the answer would be Comicsgate
Ooh.
and their feminist agenda.
Number 15. Which of the following characters has 5 fingers on each hand? A. Nightcrawler, B. Longshot, C. The Thing, or D. Charlie 27.
Cliff's got Charlie 27.
Okay.
Ditto.
Jordan has Charlie 27.
Correct answer is D. Charlie 27. Is this a process of elimination thing? Because you guys know
what,
the other ones.
I don't know what Charlie 27 is, but the other 3 don't have 5 fingers.
He's from Guardians of the Galaxy, the original.
Oh, really?
Ah.
Okay.
Well, that would be cool with a guy with 27 fingers. That'd be
Yeah?
quite a power.
Number 16. In his battle with the Venom symbiote in Web of Spider-Man number 1. Symbiote, my bad. Symbiote. Web of Spider-Man number 1. Spidey defeated the creature with the help of A. the Fantastic Four, B. the Vulture, C. a sonic disruptor ray, or D. a bell tower.
This was the worst question for me
Really?
because I knew, I pictured these panels in my head of all these things happening. And I'm like, which one was Web? I couldn't remember what issue these all happened in, so I'm sure I got it wrong.
You chose Sonic Disruptor Ray.
Okay.
So Seth, who just got that book signed at Heroes Con, chose Bell Tower.
Okay.
And Cliff chose Bell Tower.
The correct answer is bell tower. I'm keeping a mental...
What happens in Amazing 300?
You got
I was thinking something like that happened
Yeah, he
in
goes
there.
to a church. They adapted it in the third Raimi movie. He goes to the church and the bell's ringing and it hurts the...
Because that's
creature.
what I have always thought when that happened.
That's what I said. I didn't think it was Web.
But then I just opened that book up this week, Web, and I was like, because I was like, oh, this is when the bell tower happens. Or I need to see what happens at 300. It might be the same dang thing.
It might be. I know that the Reed gets involved in some point, though, right? Like, doesn't he go to the Fantastic
right when he
Four?
comes back from Secret
He
Wars.
has it done.
Okay.
Reed's looking at it and poking it and seeing what it is. So.
Okay, all right. Number 17. What was Man-Thing's former name? A. Ted Sallis, B. Alec Holland, C. Nell Carter. Give me a break. And D. John Walker.
Oh, Seth gives an Alec Holland.
Oh, that was
that's wrong.
He should subscribe to that DC universe.
Cliff said John Walker's U.S. agent.
Oh, man.
Should have read that Marvel.
Yeah, that was Marvel crap. And Jordan chose A. Ted.
Ted Sallis is the correct answer. A is the correct answer. All right. Here we go. Number 18. Dr. Doom and Reed Richards knew each other from A. being lab partners in a research facility, B. college, C. Wham. D. A Swedish boathouse in Times Square.
It's oddly specific. Cliff said college, of course.
College.
College.
Correct answer is college. All right. Number 19. Name Manga Khan's robot servant. All right.
Okay. So, go ahead.
Yeah. Go read the choices, and then he's going to say something.
All right. A. Herbie. B. Elron. C. Tetsuya the Iron Man. And D. Forlome.
Okay, so Elron is a DC robot character featured in, like, Justice League International, stuff like that. Forlome is a Star Wars character.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, so you're eliminating some stuff and then possibly putting... Who is Manga Khan? Can I get an answer
have
on
no
that?
idea.
No clue. No clue.
But Tetsuya the Iron Man just sounded completely ridiculous to me.
That's like an anime.
Okay, so I went with Herbie, but all I could think of was the Love Bug, and I'm like, I have no idea what the answer
Herbie
here
was the
is.
Fantastic Four robot.
Yeah.
So none of these
In the
answers made
cartoon,
sense to me.
I don't even know what I answered.
So Forlom is from Star Wars?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, Seth guessed Forlom.
Jordan has Elron.
That was the only one I didn't
L.
think
Ron
of.
Hubbard.
That seems like not... Yeah, it's L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah.
All right.
What's the freaking answer?
The correct answer is Elron.
What?
I said that was the only one that I knew wasn't from a different thing.
I don't know. Manga Khan. That's going to require some research. All right, here we go. And after this one, we'll tally them up to see how the last 5 go, okay?
Yeah.
All right, number 20. In which comic book did Firestar make her debut? A. New Warriors, number 1. B. Marvel Action Universe. C. Uncanny X-Men 193. Or D. Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, number 1.
I don't even know what I answered on this.
You answered Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends number 1.
Seth said Amazing Friends number 1.
That's what Jordan has too.
Correct answer is D. Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, number 1.
I mean, I knew the cartoon, but I didn't know the...
Now, you've got more than one then, Cliff. So what's our tally for Cliff?
Okay. Cliff's total is up to 6.
6. Impressive.
13 for Seth.
1,
Jordan has 15.
2, 3, 4, 5.
You've been keeping track.
Yeah. I want to see if I have a chance of coming back at all. I'm down 2 with 5 questions to go.
You've got it.
Okay.
Something has to go
Coming up
horribly
15,
wrong
Cliff?
for you.
1,
He's got 15.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
13?
For who? Jordan?
So we're coming in at... You say...
No.
What do you know?
We're going to need a scores decision.
Well, he had 6 coming into this page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean...
And I think he's got
2,
9. Did
3,
you miss any on this
6.
page?
I would have got
5, 6, 7, 8, 14.
14. So he's got a 1
Oh,
point.
he's got 14. Okay.
1 point lead?
Okay, yeah, 14.
Wait a minute.
No, that doesn't make... I have him marked down here for 9
I
on
got.
this page.
Oh, I did get that one right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus 6.
Okay.
Yeah, okay,
14. I guess so.
So
Do I really have 13 then? So I'm only down by 1?
Yeah, I can count.
Okay, good. I'm glad somebody can. All right.
Cliff, I know this is not a surprise, but you do have 3rd place locked up.
Nice.
Okay.
Noise. Smart.
Here we go. All right.
Quien es más macho?
21. The Vision was created by A. Hank Pym, B. MODOK, C. Ultron, or D. General Electric.
So Cliff has Hank Pym.
Seth says Ultron.
And Jordan has Ultron.
Correct answer is Ultron.
Have you watched the Marvel movies?
I think I was thinking of who created Ultron.
Tony Stark.
Only in the movie, right?
Number 22. What is the name of Prophet's satellite assistant? A. Brother Eye. B. Doc. It's D-O-C-C. C, OMAC, and D, Kirby.
Well, Brother Eye was the only satellite I knew of, so that's what I chose.
That's what, I think that's what I picked, but I do not know.
That's what Seth picked, but I don't think Prophet is a DC character.
No, that's what threw me off. Okay. Jordan has D-O-C-C.
The correct answer is D-O-C-C.
Dang it! He's pulling away.
He is. I recognize OMAC's DC, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I assumed it wasn't Kirby, and I knew Brother Eye and OMAC were DC, so I picked the one I didn't recognize.
I think Kirby was actually a character that was associated with Prophet, but not like, you know. So, all right, here we go. Ooh, in Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns, which Batman villain is killed? Oh, we covered this on the Source Material podcast.
Yeah,
didn't we?
and I have a few questions for the question asker here before we're done.
All right. All right, so the answers are A, Two-Face, B, Bane, C, Catwoman, and D, Joker.
Jordan chose D, Joker.
Cliff said Joker.
Seth said Joker.
Correct answer is Joker.
So, yeah, the Joker is the very famous death, but doesn't Two-Face die as well? There's a helicopter going across the buildings, and Batman chases him down, and I could have swore Two-Face died as well.
Well, I'm going to have to listen to that Source Material Comics podcast.
Where can you find that podcast?
Right there on the Radishes and Broccoli Network.
They will talk vegetables. I've listened.
Yeah, all right. Well, yeah, it's D, Joker, according to Wizard here, so that's what we're going to go with. All right, number 24. Which of the following characters does not have white sideburns?
This isn't going to get me any lead.
A, Doctor Strange, B, Reed Richards, C, Nick Fury, or D, Baron Strucker?
Seth gave a Baron Strucker.
Jordan has Baron Strucker.
So close.
All right, correct answer is D, Baron Strucker. And yeah, boy, this was like a shoe-in right here. Omega Red, 25th question. Omega Red is A, American, B, Canadian, C, Russian, or D, really inconsiderate. Just last week, he came home drunk and peed all over the toilet seat. All right, what do we got?
Omega Red. I just remember from the cartoon, they made him so Russian.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, yep, correct answer is C, Russian. All right, final tally, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it.
Cliff, I believe, has 8.
Jordan's got 19.
Yep. And I must have 17.
17 for Seth.
Oh, well, all right.
So what are we?
Cliff, tú eres macho como Heve VHS.
Oh,
boss.
Seth is up to Ricardo Montalban.
Yep, and
Rich Corinthian leather.
one more point would have got you Wesley Snipes there, Jordan.
Oh, man.
You stayed in the range.
I feel that's adequate.
All right.
I do not deserve that level.
Oh, that was fun, guys. Thank you for humoring me. That was a lot of fun. A lot of comic book knowledge bestowed upon each other there. Had a great time.
Good stuff.
Yep. So
it's always great to get that last final done, and then you can relax and enjoy your summer.
Indeed.
And we're recording this on the first day of summer, 2019.
That's true. Yeah. All right.
So, Mr. Jesse Starcher, where can people find you and your amazing podcast, Source Material?
Ladies and gentlemen, you can find Source Material on the Rattlich in Broadcasting Network. You just go to any podcast platform and type that in. Right now, Mark Rattlich is pushing Podcoin. I don't know if you guys have heard of that platform, but you can get paid while listening. You can get paid while listening to podcasts when you download this app. And apparently, just recently,
bred for this.
Yeah, check it out because he made us somehow. Mark worked it around to make us the featured podcast, and our our Gotham Central episode immediately shot up to numbers that I have not seen on our network in probably since we started on Spreaker. So anyway, yeah, you can get paid doing podcasts. Check out Podcoin. But like I said, any podcast platform, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio. We're at home on Spreaker, and we are a podcast. Source Material is a podcast that is pretty much a book club for comic books. If you guys got a storyline that you're interested in, we may have covered it. We're at over 220 some episodes now, so that's pretty a good bit of time that we put in. Pretty good.
Your numbers we will never catch up to them because you put them out way too regularly.
That's all Mark Radulich. Yeah, he's scheduling things like a madman into 2020. But anyway, so yeah, check that out. You guys can find something you'll probably enjoy, and we do all sorts of other content as well.
And sometimes you do kind of real deep dives into real classic literature. Sometimes you get some stuff that's not so great, and you kind of rip on it for a little bit. So there's a nice variety of the things you cover, the eras you cover, and how you cover it.
Yep, Jordan's been on there. Cliff, I think you were on there for one time. We were talking about what we were reading at that point. So, but yeah, I appreciate you guys letting me have the opportunity to plug it right here on Ka-Pow, the Pop Culture Podcast.
Well, thank God we're not in it for the money. We're here for the art, people. Unless you would like to give us some money, and you could do that by listening to the Podbean app, and right at the top it has a little Patreon button right there. If you would like to help the cause and
pay for all these cords,
fund all the things we got going on here. So,
all right.
Thank you once again for listening. We appreciate Mr. Jesse Starcher for being here. My name is Jordan Lowe.
I'm Cliff Barnes.
And I'm Seth. Goodbye forever.
Ka-Pow, the Pop Culture Podcast, is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Sounds, music, and clips played during the podcast are property of copyright holders. All original content is property of www.udownwithkpp.com.
Did you see the comment Jared made? Look at the picture and look at your picture. It's so funny.
I gotta see it.
Perfect. It's perfection.
Wait, which picture?
The picture Cliff posted or some of Jesse at the podcast, and then Jared commented on it with.
Okay.
It's perfect. It's perfection. Oh my god.
Okay, here we go. Let's see.
You don't have it on your ear.
Yeah, okay.
Oh my gosh.